There are known knowns and unknown unknowns. Things we don't know, we don't know.
What?
Right? That's crazy. It's such a weird line. If you don't know where that's from, The Boondocks, go watch it. It's hilarious. Great show. Those guys do a really good job at breaking the fourth wall in such a subtle way. It just blew past our minds as children, right? So highly encourage you to go watch Boondocks or go watch SpongeBob again. You know, SpongeBob's loaded with fourth wall breakers. But I digress. I want to talk to you guys about some fourth wall breaking of my own here. And I was talking to Janai the other night, and we were talking about the premise of my videos, where I'm going with them, the theme. And it's kind of funny how you most definitely could take everything I'm saying and put it behind the theme of the Matrix, right? Break out of the game, escape the game, And he showed me this TikTok, and it was this guy basically reverse engineering the Matrix to make it as though the people trying to escape are actually the bad guys. Very crazy theory, but it was almost so right in a way, right? What are we fighting against? What are we resisting? Why are we trying to escape, right? And a lot of my videos, I make these comments like, you don't want to do the 9 to 5. You don't want to live this dream for the rest of your life. Make your own blueprint. And I want you to understand what I'm getting at when I say that. And I think that the escape isn't get out of the game and go nomad and live off the grid. I had this conversation with my barber too. We were talking about how during the 1400s and slave trade, how people were trying to impose this capitalist idea and essentially the idea of scammers, right? And what are they trying to get at? And what are they trying to do by manipulating the rules of this system? If you watch Invincible, there's this awesome line that he says in there where guy Seal, he runs the agency for superheroes. And he tells Mark that you can be the good guy or you can do the right thing. And that's where I feel I lie in. Is that I'm not trying to be the good guy. I'm trying to do the right thing. I'm trying to explain to you guys the way that I see this entire system in a way that I'm sure a lot of you see it as well, and then give you a way to play it that doesn't involve you sacrificing all of your sanity to play it. It's a deep and it's a complex topic, and there's so many levels to it that I can't just bring it to you out face value and say, hey man, digest it this way. I have to break it up into all these little micro parts that have to be understood. And what I want to talk about now is resilience and how you're going to need some resilience in order for you to be able to play this game the way that you want to prescribe it to yourself. Personally, I think that ignorance is bliss. And I think that this ties back into the known and unknown unknowns concept very well. Because in that episode specifically, Samuel Jackson is playing this character, and he's talking to Riley and Huey, and he's explaining to them this crazy conspiracy theory about how the government is hiding things from us. And so many people get caught up in the news and the media and what's sent to them and what's prescribed to them via social media that they become hyper obsessed with it to a point where they can't start to think for themselves anymore. They're starting to think against this idea that's prescribed to them. And it's distracting, and it takes them away from what they actually have in this world, which is control over their own life, their own choice, especially here in the first world, especially here in the United States. Every day you get to wake up and make a choice. And what happens is you open up your phone, you get on Instagram, and you get berated with opinions. And it distracts you from what you're trying to do. And so this concept of resilience, it doesn't mean to resist. It means to not quit. And that is so important to understand. What do I know about resilience? I know that a lot of times in life, I was doing things that I thought were the right thing to do, right? Like the good guy thing to do. I was giving up my sanity to make people happy in relationships that I wasn't happy to be a part of, trying to do a thing that I didn't really want to do at the time, right? The American dream, have a wife, have kids, white picket fence, literally. It wasn't what I wanted. It was what was prescribed to me, but it wasn't the life I wanted to live. And I began to pursue the life that I wanted to live. And I've been pursuing that, and I'm here now after pursuing it for 10 years. I lost a lot, I learned a lot, and I hurt a lot. But I was resilient for the entire thing. I didn't quit. I kept going, and I took losses. I lost thousands upon thousands of dollars, like 6 figures of dollars, right? And I've paid off a fuck ton of debt. Like, I have purchased and bought and paid off a lot of shit. I've spent a lot of fucking money, and I have pretty decent ground floor to show for it. But moving forward, I don't want to continue to repeat that cycle. I don't want to now be in my 30s and be like, okay, time to buy another real estate property and turn that into a cash cow and make equity off of it in 5 years and do this again, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to repeat that cycle. I don't want to, here's the new job, new guy on the spot, prove yourself, prove your worth, work your way up the ranks, become a shift leader, become a part of management, start to lead the team. I don't want to do any of that like anymore. I've done it, right? I want to just chill. I want to live life and live it where I feel happy. And to me, that's getting up and going to fucking Waffle House and getting an all-star special, chilling, get a little coffee, black, talk to the same staff that's there, chilling, head out, run my errand for the day, whether that's going to Home Depot and making a joke at some dude who's clearly way younger than me and being like, hey dad, can you unlock the cage so I can get the tools out? I need to buy a new power drill and impact driver, you know? Or, you know, going and getting a little coffee, going to a little bookshop and finding a little hole in the wall and vibing in there for a little bit. Get a little cafecito, flirt with the barista, you know what I mean? Have a nice little morning, journal a little bit, work on some projects that I have, you know, writings or whatever it is, and then peel out, go to the gym, make some lunch, maybe go to jiu-jitsu, who knows, man. Have a day by design, a day of doing what just feels good. And that's what I want to prescribe to you guys, man. I love just waking up and just not having to stress about the day, not having to be in a rush to go nowhere, you know? I want to help other people get to this kind of lifestyle, and I want to teach you the things that'll get you here, but I can't teach them to you if you don't understand why. You see why, like, making your bed counts, right? It's like, do the things you don't want to do, but just do them, man. And trust me, it's going to pay off. It's going to pay off because at the end of my day, my bed's made, my sheets are nice and cool, even, unwrinkled. I slide into my sheets, it's nice and cool, man. My bed's nice and comfortable. I go to sleep on a happy note because I woke up and the first thing I did was something I don't want to do. Have some resilience in your life, man.